Welcome back to Cornwall Conversations. I'm Scott Teresi, president of the Cornwall Chamber of Commerce, and I'm here with...
You did that very well, actually. We had this whole thing of like preparing for it. He pulled it off just fine. We are here live from the Shamrock Smashburger Studios and ready to get to our second episode. Feels like it's been a while, but it's not.
Yeah, and we're here with president of the Storm King Engine Number 2, Robbie Vogt, president, and also with Thomas Trainer, captain.
Thomas Trainer. Thomas Trainer the third. Very nice. He went with Thomas. We know him as Tommy. Come on. The whole town knows him as Tommy. The town, the village, everybody knows him as Tommy.
We had to like put out the form.
All right. Thomas Trainer.
Then we can take it back and be more.
Do we want to talk about Robbie's last name at all? Vote.
I got it right.
You got it right.
I got it right.
Say it right.
You said it right.
Vote.
That's correct.
Vought.
But we had to do
we had a whole discussion about how people say his name wrong. All right, we'll get into it though.
So maybe you guys.
Because I think it should be bought. We talked about this. Bought, but it's vote. But hey, who am I to judge? Go ahead. Okay, sorry.
It's all right.
Only one cup of coffee today. Not that I need it.
So maybe we'll let you guys introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit about what's going on there at Storm King Engine Number 2.
Yeah, quick little intro though. Quick little bio from you guys.
All right. So
he nudged him.
I know.
He got a nudge. Okay, Tommy's going first.
Yeah. I'm Thomas Trainer, all of them. I'm the captain of the Storm King Engine Company Number 2. I kind of oversee the operational side internally as the in the company. But with that, I aid the chiefs in whatever they tell me to do, really, and train the members and make sure they got everything they need for operational concerns. And with Robbie, we kind of oversee the entire membership as a whole. So
gotcha.
That's what I do.
You literally grew up in it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you literally grew up in it.
Yeah. I started showing up when my father was chief. The second time?
No, we got to make believe he's not here right now.
That's right.
He didn't want to be on camera, so he stays over there. You stay over here with us. We'll get him involved, maybe.
But I've been around my entire life, and the history of my family in there goes back to 1949 with my Uncle Joe joining and my grandfather were members. So there's a long line of us in there, and hopefully there's more to come. But
so when was your first ride in a fire truck? Like officially?
Officially?
Yeah, like officially.
2017.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Not that long ago, but long enough.
10 years.
Pre-COVID.
All right.
Yeah.
Mr. Vaught.
So
I'm going to say it wrong on purpose. It's Vogt.
That's his thing.
Yeah,
that's okay. You won't be the first or last guy that does.
Right.
I'm Robbie Vogt. I'm the president of the Storm King Engine Company and the Cornwall Fire Department. I oversee the administrative side, the fire company, the membership, the fair things, the community service side of it. The fire department oversees the fire operations, like the emergency calls, and actually they oversee the parades and things like that we go to.
Got it.
I've been involved with the fire company here now in Cornwall and Hudson since 2004. I've been a firefighter on and off since I was 17 in 1987.
Wow, we're doing ages too here. Okay, so we're just flopping out ages. I too was 17 in 1987. So.
Yeah. Oh, great.
Scott,
same age.
would you like
Perfect.
to jump in?
I was 16.
Oh, you're 16. Okay. How older than you?
Youngster.
Is that possible?
Come on. I mean, look at you.
No. That's a great one. Okay, that's a good one. Okay, you got me with that one. Go ahead, Robbie. Sorry about that.
No, so that's
since 87.
Yeah, since 87. Was originally from Michigan.
Okay.
And moved out here in 96. I work at West Point.
Okay, gotcha.
And then
prior military? How did you wind up here?
Just applied for the job that they had, and I only work for them. I'm not in the military.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I guess I'm getting to how did you wind up in Cornwall? We know the trainers have been here since 1842, but how did you? So from Michigan to
here, I always wanted to work at West Point. I'm an athletic trainer. That's my profession.
Okay.
And so when they had a job posting when I finished with college, I applied for it, and luckily I got it. And actually, I got it largely because I am a firefighter.
Wow, amazing.
One of my references told my boss at West Point that I was a firefighter, and
That's
so he said, "Oh,
awesome.
that's great." And
Yeah.
so, yeah.
That's a Cornwall conversation. That's how you wound up here.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a Cornwall conversation. That's great.
So,
Yeah.
and then I, lived in Highland Falls, lived in Harriman, and eventually Cornwall and Hudson, and
Gotcha.
that's where I have lived since.
Awesome.
Where he landed.
That's
Yeah.
where I landed. Couldn't ask for a better
So
place.
since when?
Since 2004.
Okay. Yeah. 2004. Yeah. Awesome.
So the experience since you've been here since 2004, what kind of changes have you seen in the company? And
So the membership has changed definitely. Like we've had Mike Trainer, he's been the chief on and off. We've had Jeff Armitage, been the chief for a long time. And so now we're starting to see new people come in, like myself. Tom's come in. Several other people have come in and started assuming bigger roles. It's become a lot. I believe that the organization has become closer, better equipped to handle difficulties and handle the emergencies that happen. We've definitely grown. We still get a lot of
membership to what, when you talk about membership, is that volunteers for somebody? who doesn't know?
100% volunteer.
Right,
We are
right.
100% volunteer.
When
We
you talk,
do an
again,
active
when you
pay.
talk about membership, that's the
talking the
people who
volunteers.
are
Yes.
volunteering. Gotcha.
And that's myself as president. Tom is a captain. He's a
Right.
volunteer. The chief, he's a volunteer. Nobody gets paid
Right.
a dime
Right.
for what we do. We
Yeah.
sacrifice our time.
Right. And how many people are there now?
Right,
Active.
right now, active, we have about 25 active
Okay.
members.
Yeah. All right.
And when I first started, we had about the same, but most of those members have moved on, and we've gotten new members since.
Sure.
And that's one thing that we've been able to maintain over the last probably 6-8 years.
Yeah.
We've been able to maintain levels of members.
Sure.
Coming in and out. We've got a lot of younger members now.
Right. And it does, like, look, we joked about ages a little bit, right? But it does seem like it's something that, like, you start young and you stay in it, right? Like, that's what it seems like. It doesn't seem like a guy gets to 35 and is like, I kind of had enough of this, right?
No.
It doesn't really
Once
happen
you
like
get
that.
with that bug, you it sticks with you your entire life,
Sure. Right.
And,
Yeah.
For some it happens at 16, 17, and for others it happens at 37. We've had members come in and wanted to see what was up with the firehouse, and they're like, wow, this is pretty cool, and they stick with it.
is there an age limit?
No.
Can anybody, when it comes to volunteering?
We got one of our more active members. He's I think he's what, 80, 86?
85, 86 right now. Yeah.
No
and he's,
kidding.
Yeah.
he
Going out on
is-
calls?
Yep.
Yes, he drives, he sets up hoses, ladders, all that
Amazing.
stuff. He is
Right.
more
That's
fit than
cool.
probably half the people on the fire department. Well, yes.
But yeah,
Good for him.
Yeah, so our age range from 16 to 86.
Right.
There's 70 years of
Right.
age difference, but we all work well together, and
Yeah.
when calls come in, we don't really look at age. It's
No,
if
right,
someone has
yeah.
their back, and then
Right.
you're good. So
Yeah.
So how long does it take for somebody who comes in to volunteer? Like they show up at one of your Wednesday meetings, because I know like you guys invite people to come on Wednesdays.
Yep.
From the time they show up on like a first kind of introduction to where they have the opportunity to be riding and contributing to the firehouse, how long does that usually take?
it takes. I mean, it takes a couple months. You got to interview with Robbie and our trustees, and after that they go to our board of fire commissioners for the fire department, and they say yes, and then after that, I think it comes time to get their physical and training. But it's probably a couple month process, and then it doesn't stop there. We have to do our state fire training, our firefighter 1 and whatnot, and that's 139, 140 hours. And on top of that, there's about 50 hours of in-house training. So it takes a while, but before you take that, you can ride. Like I said, it takes a couple months. We have to do some baseline training, some introductory training, and once we get through that, you can kind of observe a little bit, get your feet wet, and then
Right.
really decide. That's kind of when people are like, I like it or I don't like it, and
Yep.
but yeah, so a couple months.
Yeah, it's about a 2-month process. Like Tom said, they meet with us, they apply either online or they drop an application at the firehouse. And then we interview them, we check their references, we do an arson investigation and look kind of at their legal background to make sure that they're not
Right.
Right.
that they're legitimate people. And then then they have to get a physical. Like Tom said, they have to meet with the board of the fire commissioners, because they're not only joining the fire company, they're joining the fire department, which is operated by the village.
Right.
The fire company is the membership for that.
Right.
So then they have to be approved by the company, of course. And then once that happens, then they're in. And so it's about a 2
What
month
about
process.
like continuing ed? Do you guys have to do any of that? So like once you're on and you do the 2 months,
Yeah,
is there anything, annual refreshers? Or
Yeah, we
anything
do.
like
We
that?
do yearly proficiency training. There's a couple things that you got to do to remain active. You got to get a physical each year to make sure you're able to do the job. And once we get that, we can get your proficiency stuff. But that basic training. But like we talked about Wednesday nights. Wednesday nights we're always there. We're doing training and
Okay.
So
And that's just done by you guys.
That in the firehouse.
Yep.
The state also has classes that they sponsor out at the Orange County Fire Training Center in Goshen. That's where that firefighter 1 course is held that Tom was talking about, and that's 139 hours. Tom?
yep.
Yeah.
So that's a 139-hour course that somebody has to take in order to be an interior firefighter.
And the one thing
go into the
that
house.
I want to talk about is that the state and the village has enacted policies that you get paid for that time.
Okay.
So you take firefighter 1, you're getting $2,000 off the bat. And they're
Okay.
for homeowners, you're getting your tax credit, some money off of that, and income tax. So there's a good package. Firefighters also get enrolled in a length of service award program. It's kind of like a retirement program, and after a certain amount of years, you get vested into it. And I think your entitlement age is at 60. So
Oh, that's pretty cool.
yeah. So there's something.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not the reason why join the fire department, right? Like,
not at all, but it's a good,
it's
it's a good little perk.
I grew up in Florida, and the firehouses there, they were run primarily by the county, right? And so they were all paid positions. And then moving up here, I didn't even really realize that volunteer firefighters was still a thing. But it really is it's becoming more of a less and less, right? The firehouses.
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about some of the challenges of running an all volunteer fire department?
So the challenge of it is that, first of all, getting people to commit their time to it.
Right.
Because they have to have training, just like anything else. You don't do it, you forget how to do it. So it's leaving your family, leaving dinners, leaving, overnight, those kind of things, leaving at the last second, obviously, because you never know when an emergency is going to happen. So that's a challenge. And people don't realize that until they actually come down and join and see what it is. The other challenges, of course, money, getting funding, having the village give us a budget so we can operate the fire department,
Right.
Which Tom can talk more about. So those are some of the main challenges.
Sure.
People have different lives, different jobs. As you know, everything has become more and more unaffordable. So people have to work two jobs. So where do you find time to
Right.
do firefighting as well?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's an obvious time commitment, and that's why, we think it's important, that when the members, they come in, they kind of stick with it because,
Yep.
At 16, you kind of have the freedom to go experience life a little bit. And, we're lucky enough to get some senior guys in there. Robbie, when he came up in 2004, he, came with some training and everything. But yeah, the budgeting, we work closely with the village board on our budget each year. The two chiefs and the commissioners, they sit down and see what, we really need. And for the most part, the village board says, all right, cool. Hopefully that continues. And, I'd like to think that there's a good working relationship between everyone.
Sure. And donations too, right? You guys do fundraisers, stuff like that, right? Beyond the budget, right?
correct. So the fair,
Right.
our annual fair that we have, which is July 16th through 19th, 15th through 18th. So we have the fair. That's our biggest fundraiser for the year. We also do a mail-in campaign where
Right.
the village residents all get a mailer that asks for donations if they want to. And then we do have pancake breakfast on Easter every year. So yeah, and we accept any donation.
Gotcha.
If anybody wants to give us money, we'll take it.
Just going back to this, is 25 the right number? You said you have about 25. You say members, I say volunteers, but is that the right number, or do you need is there an opportunity to have more people?
we could always use more.
Right.
Could always use
Yeah.
more people. Yeah.
Everyone has different schedules with life and
Sure.
different availability, and
Right.
kind of having the members on the roster on and they fill in. Our members right now they do a pretty good job and filling in and getting the job done. But we can always use more.
Would you guys be able to speak to like other fire departments just throughout the county? Let's just say, is that about normal, or does it matter like size of the municipality?
It
like
definitely, it definitely.
I used a big word there. I used municipality.
No, I was-
That's a very big word for me. I'm usually 1-2 syllables, but municipality is big for me. So.
It depends on the area. We're a very small village, so there's two square miles of people
Right.
we gotta kind of pick from, or they get to pick to join us. And there's other municipalities and other fire departments that cover 40 square miles. So
Right.
but I would say for the most part, if you have a fire department or firehouse that's got 25, 30, 35 members, that's probably the norm.
Okay.
But we got active members, and then we got members that are inactive that help with the fairs and everything else. They do everything but ride the fire.
Sure.
trucks,
Right.
So
Yeah.
Sure.
I would say that number's probably a little bit more. But 25 is the number we go with because those are the the ones that are
Yeah.
involved.
Active people.
So we're blessed here in Cornwall. I mean, we've got pretty active, both the Highland engine and then Storm King engine. Can you talk a little bit about kind of the how you guys work together and some of the different? We were talking about it earlier, kind of the different skill sets that you guys have and that they have. Can you talk a little bit about that and how that helps to keep us safe as Cornwall residents?
The town of Cornwall is actually covered by 4 different fire departments. So the ones you think of are obviously Storm King, Cornwall, Hudson, and Highland, your company, Mountainville, the Cornwall Fire Department. But the Valesgate Fire Department, they cover a little bit of Cornwall, and Salisbury Mills covers it as well. But we work closely with the guys from Cornwall. We work closely with the other guys, but not as much. But yeah, we have operational gaps that they can fill, and they have some as well that we can fill. But we really rely on each other a lot to fill those, because we got to be there for the community, and then when time comes to answer that call, we're all the same team. We don't really think. One thing that we do, we started back in 1996 when the then Cornwall Ambulance was struggling with their members and their operational needs. They asked us to take care of or help them take care of EMS calls in the village. So we've been doing that since. Uptown, the guys at Cornwall, they get a lot into the tech rescue stuff. They're very good at the ropes and the car extrication and everything else.
Up on the mountain.
Yeah,
things like
yeah.
that.
Give us a little bit more on what you mean by ropes. What does that mean?
Yeah, so I mean, they obviously the vast hiking trails in our area. If they get,
I didn't know that. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Wait. What do you mean? Yeah, of course.
they had
What do you mean? You didn't know that about ropes?
and
Oh,
obviously,
so like literally, if someone falls off the cliff,
Yep.
not trying to be insensitive here, but if somebody needs to be rescued, that's their.
that's them.
Okay.
But
I know what you meant. I really.
obviously we work closely, but a lot of us are personal friends with them. So when they go to something good, like, hey, how was that, and vice versa. But they recently did a rope job out in the Stony Mountain where they had to hoist a person out via a state police helicopter. And
See, this is fire guy talk. I'm not a fire guy. I'm obsessed with fire trucks, but I don't know about a rope job. That sounds like you're taking someone out rather than saving them. But technically, you are taking them out. Rope job. Okay.
Firefighters have a weird way of talking. And when we talk about a fire, no one likes to see, destruction and everything, but when we get done, like, that was a good job, that was, meaning the guys came together and,
Right.
and they worked well and they, got the
Understood.
job done,
Right.
But yeah, we do a lot more than just, go to fires, collectively,
Right.
with whatever someone calls 911 and the 911 dispatcher or the local dispatcher in the Cornwall Police Department, be like, I don't know who to send. They call the fire department. They send us. Anything
Gotcha.
from we're in the basement or someone's feeling ill and
Right. So generally,
Yeah.
first on scene.
we're
You like that? That was like.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, you like that first on scene.
but
Look at me. I'm not volunteering for anything.
but
just
yeah,
just to be clear here.
and the operational effectiveness doesn't stop at the fire departments. There's a lot of departments in the town and village that work well together. The
Yeah.
police department there, we work side by side. The EMS, do work in stride with them. the DPW, the water department,
Sure.
the
Yes.
the Central Hudson guys. It's not just the fire department that ultimately answers the call.
Yeah, I definitely say we're one big happy family. That's for sure.
Sometimes I'm happy, but
Right. Like little dysfunction. Every family's got a little dysfunction, but we're one big happy family
but when,
for sure.
when someone calls for help, the guys, like I said, we're
Come
we're
together.
one,
Yeah.
Can you also talk about, because you said this too, you guys get in the water too? The Hudson.
Yeah. So
You'll do the calls in the
yeah.
Hudson?
So we got back in the 90s, we had a fireboat, and with obviously the different membership and everything, we kind of got out of that business, and then in like 2017 or 16, there was a notorious kayaker case up on
Oh,
the
right.
Hudson River that we were called to, and we were kind of like, oh well, we're standing on shore and we can't really help. And then there was also an incident where there was 28 kayakers that kind of got caught out in the current in the Hudson River. So that expedited us to get back into the boat business, and
Okay.
we do that. We respond with the Newburgh Fire Department, the West Point Fire Department, Meadow Hope Fire Department. Sometimes we get Dutchess County units as well. So yeah, we do that.
So that's a special training, on water training that
Yeah,
your folks get. So
It is.
Yeah.
So
And all this training is done in house, and then we offer it up to the state level or the county level courses that do out in Goshen.
That's cool.
And all the training's free as well. It's all paid for by the department or the state. So if you join, and it's free training.
Go back to that too. Just when you talk about the 140 hours, I understand there is, but is there a cost involved in that? Is that part of your budgeting, or
Well,
does the individual pay? For
No,
it?
no.
How's that
So the individual never pays for training.
Gotcha.
The state will reimburse the not reimburse, but you get a stipend. We offer a fuel reimbursement for our members that go out there. The state
Bag lunches, PB and J's with the price cut off.
usually
All right.
the class is full money together, and the instructors put on a good lunch out there. So
Awesome.
But yeah, the state, through their state budget, they allocate certain amount of training hours for different counties and different sizes. Orange County is one of the ones that has the most training hours assigned to it.
Mm-hmm.
So our members really do get a lot of opportunities to train out there.
So our county has one of the most robust fire training curriculum around in the state. They train the most new firefighters. They hold the most Firefighter 1 courses in the state. Along with Firefighter 1, they host everything from hazardous material courses to driver operator training. They handle things like engine company operations, truck company operations. So there are all kinds of classes that are taught out there that members can take if they're interested, if they want to take them. We highly encourage them to because it's more training. And then along with the in-house training that we do every Wednesday.
So what you're saying is eventually I could drive a fire truck. That I could do.
You could do it.
How big is the wheel? Would I be able to get my?
It's a little smaller than
little
that.
smaller. I figured that-
about
this is
halfway
what
in
I
between
pictured,
there,
you
yeah.
know?
So it'll feel like that.
Okay, but for me it would.
It'll feel like that.
Little guy, What the hell are you talking about? You're not that big.
So as you look out, 10 years, 15 years, like what are some of the things that you guys have to be thinking about as far as the sustainability of Storm King Engine number 2?
Another big word: sustainability. Municipality, sustainability. Big word.
So
Scott uses big
to
words.
sustain the level of operation in our municipality, we need to maintain the membership size,
Right.
maintain our level of interest from the community. We need more members to join, particularly the homeowners, people that stay in the village. That it's great to have 16, 17-year-old, 18-year-old guys and girls, women, but they may eventually move out of their
Right.
parents' house, go to college. So we'll lose them for a few years. Hopefully we get them back, but a lot of times we don't because they move on. So we need more homeowners or the people that are in the village on a permanent basis to join.
Do you guys
maintain
have
our
like
membership.
a kind of initiative for that? Do you try to recruit? Are you out in the high schools at all? Like on a
Yeah, every for us every day is a recruitment day.
Got it.
We
Got it.
got guys at the firehouse that hang out, and the doors are open, and members of the public are more than welcome to come in and see what's about and ask questions. But every day is a recruitment day.
right,
It's on our sign. So,
right. Well, here's a shameless plug for you guys. I mean, again, if you want, look, I'm going to look into a camera. If you want to get involved, please do. Please do.
And specifically, like what if someone does want to get involved, like what should they do? What would you recommend for somebody who is thinking about, they're watching this podcast like, oh, I never really thought about that, but I should do it. Well, like, what would you recommend for them to do? What would be the first step? Because that's really
Listen, I would say, stop down on a Wednesday night, but if you see us out and about, just, come say hi and talk to us.
Yeah.
And we can definitely point you in the right direction.
Sure.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
The main thing, like Tom said, stop on a Wednesday night when people are definitely there. You can see what we do on training nights. Ask questions. Like
So
Tom
what
said.
what would they expect? What would
Yeah,
they
like, can
expect
I
to
just
see
show up
a
on Wednesday night and I'm going to ask again if I could just jump in a truck and just drive it around the block real
No.
quick? I cannot.
So
All right,
you-
okay. I
no,
see
What would
lane, but
they?
All right. Okay.
What would somebody expect if they showed up on a Wednesday night?
So they would see members actively doing things, actively training, actively cleaning the equipment, cleaning the firehouse, those kinds of things. They should approach us and tell us who they are and what they're interested in, if they're interested in joining, and we can ask them if they want to stick around and watch what's going on, or to see. We can't let them do anything, obviously,
Right.
for insurance reasons, for liability, but if they're interested, stick around and see what's going on. We can let them sit
Find
in the
that it's
firehouse.
a stepping stone for somebody. Maybe that's somebody who wants to get into a paid position.
Yes.
Do they volunteer first, or
Yeah,
do they stay on as volunteer? Maybe. Or
That I look at it, volunteer fire department as a big melting pot, but it definitely, it leads to a lot of career,
Right.
opportunities. Like Robbie, he mentioned that, he helped him out get his job at West Point, and there's different things. My father, he was a fireman in Storm King before we became part of the village workforce, and that helped him out a lot. We got guys that are firemen all up and down the East Coast. Some out west, but it definitely helps. Like I said, once you get bit by that bug, you're kind of like, well,
It's true.
I'm there, and
Yeah.
So
we're very lucky to have the members and the backgrounds that we have.
for sure.
again, I'm not a firefighter at West Point. I'm an athletic trainer there. But like Tom says, we have members that are on FDNY. We do have members that are at West Point. We have members we're in Newburgh. We have members at Metro Dade in Florida, Virginia Beach. So all over the
cool.
place.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's this similar to military as a stepping stone. There, you get that camaraderie, you get those leadership skills, you get those kind of work ethic skills from being part of an organization like the Storm King Engine.
Yeah, and I liken that the fire department, being a firefighter, has taught me to handle things at my other job, as my real job as an athletic trainer. How to handle them calmly, how to handle them with the thought process, but on a quick, expedient manner.
Yeah, and I'm just going to just clarify. To be fair, it's a real job at the Storm King Fire.
Yeah, it is a real job. That's correct. It is,
I mean,
yes.
I know you may not be getting a paycheck, but
Right.
that's serious work. That's serious work, and
It is.
extremely much appreciated. Extremely much appreciated.
Yeah.
Which sounds like a wrap up, but it's not. It's not. It sounds
only
like
say
a wrap up, but I just got to throw that in there.
I say this because I really enjoy being
Right.
a firefighter, like Tom does, like all of us do. And so like it's kind of, even though you're not being paid to do it, you're still having a great time doing it.
Yeah, and I think Robbie can agree with this. It's really the members that make it.
For sure.
It's the group of individuals that we're surrounded with, and once we get back to the firehouse after a call, we get to debrief, and who knows what we talk about, the Yankee game last night, or the fire, or the Knicks playoff
Right.
part in here. But
Right.
there's a bunch of stuff that goes on, and Robbie said that helps him at work, and we're problem solvers. We're kind of a toolbox on wheels. People call us when they're having the worst day of their life, and they expect us to fix it for them. Right. So we can't go in there and say, hey, listen, we're volunteers. We can't try. We don't have a choice.
Yeah.
We show up when someone needs help, and we help them.
I think there's really something to be said for actually doing something and not getting paid for it, because you're doing it because you have a passion to do it and you enjoy it. Because there's, right, you don't have to be motivated by the money to do it. So that passion and camaraderie obviously shows. Even though we have some people that didn't want to be on camera, and be camaraderie like, which is Mike Trainer, who, you know, we initially, Tom mentioned it before, his dad, who's creepily sitting in the corner, which nobody can see. They've been turning back and he's just been sitting there. But all right, go ahead. We'll keep going. That was probably your cue if you wanted to just jump on for a half a second, if you wanted to just make a guest appearance. But, you know, all right, if you don't, that's fine. You just stay over there. Anyway.
I have a specific question.
Well, we might get to that. Let's see. Scott, you got a specific question for Mike Trainer?
I do have a specific question.
Come on over. Here we go. See, this was semi to moderately planned a little bit. You got to get right in the middle there,
Right in the
and
middle.
hopefully there he is,
go.
Mr. Mike Trainer, 5.
So maybe not specific to. So I want to just ask you, like, what's it like, you know, having your son, like, kind of not kind of follow in your footsteps a little bit, or like talk a little bit about working with your son at the fire department. What's
Well,
that?
it's a blessing and a curse.
Mike Trainer, everybody. Mike Trainer.
But what Tom failed to mention when he first got involved, he got involved as an explorer, as a 13, 14-year-old. And we were at home one evening, windows were open, we could smell something burning. And it was very accurate and very overwhelming. So he said, something's on fire. Well, it was our neighbor's house.
Wow.
So he ran outside. Before I could even get my pants on, he was outside. You know, he grabbed a garden hose from the neighbor's house next door and put the fire out before the fire department got
Amazing.
there.
Amazing.
And I
It's
think
pretty cool.
that's kind of what's lit his fire within himself to do this.
Sure.
So it's proud to see him follow in my footsteps. But as you can imagine, we're still father and son, and it still gets very tense.
No, really?
You know.
Tense between the trainers? Who would guess?
Who would have guessed that, right? So it like I said, it's a blessing and a curse.
Yeah, but that's also, all jokes aside, that's part of the passion,
Absolutely,
right? How long were
absolutely.
you chief for? Or are you still chief?
I am. So
Okay.
On his farewell tour this year.
Right. You are retiring,
I
right?
am, I am.
So as chief as well, or just in
this,
the village?
this will be my last term as chief.
Breaking
Where-
news.
Gotcha.
Breaking news.
Okay, there we go. So
Yes, I can assure
yeah,
you.
we
here first.
broke the story.
My first,
Who needs Gomez Gomez when you have us?
My-
we broke a story. I
my
can't
first
believe it.
year as chief was 1997.
Okay.
So as my son likes to remind me, I was chief during 4 different decades.
Okay.
And when we and
90, yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
and when we
yeah.
go to different fire departments on mutual aid calls or for any activities where they have pictures of their fire chiefs on the wall, I often sit there and I look at him. I say, "Oh, I was chief with him back in '98, him back in 2002, him back."
And how
in
long have you been involved? Like
2017."
again, you guys are born and raised here.
Yeah,
so
since 1987 I joined.
gotcha. Which again, I was 17, as Mr. Vogt was 17.
I was 16.
Yeah. Okay. There you go. All right, we're done with you. Get back in the corner.
But I just one last
thing.
point.
We got him on there. We got him on.
Historically, the fire service has been very traditional in terms of the generational of families and whatnot joining. Whether it's the Trainers, the Bryans, we've had a lot of families come through, and
Yeah.
the fathers would join, their sons would join. We don't tend to have that anymore, and that's why it's important to get the property owners to get involved and join, because
Yes.
they have that lasting power, and hopefully we can start to build that tradition again with their children joining after them.
Understood. Again, shameless plug. If you want to get involved, please do. Talk to your children about it. Your sons, your daughters, get involved.
Yes.
For sure.
Yes.
Thank you, Mike. Your service has been
Thank you.
greatly appreciated. Greatly appreciated. Get back in the sport. Yeah, all right. There you go.
He talked about, briefly about him, his terms as fire chief, but the one thing that Robbie failed to mention, he was fire chief too back in 2012, 13,
12, 13, and 14, yes.
Who's the other chief on now?
Steve Calamari.
Okay. It's
Yep.
Calamari.
Yes.
For real?
Yeah.
That's his name, Calamari?
Squid.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, so Robbie, he was chief when when I first started really buying into the fire department. He was the guy.
Yeah.
So
I like it.
his leadership doesn't stop on the fire ground. It's obviously now the president.
Scott's turning over his page. Now. Was he turning over the page?
I'm just checking my
Oh,
notes.
okay. I just we always have to go to your notes. Okay.
But yeah, so
Thanks, Tom.
yeah.
So just to try and wrap things up here, any last words that you have for the community or for?
Shameless plugs. Just throw it out there. While we continue to sit in the Shamrock Smashburger Studios.
The one thing
Burger's
that-
great, by the way.
the
Burger's
one,
great.
yeah, it is. The one thing that I'd like to remind the community is, if you call, we'll be there. You know, but you know, we need you to be there for us. You know, just join the fire department.
Absolutely.
You know, get to know what we're doing.
Donate, whatever
You know,
it is. Help out where you
we are.
we can
We're
as
working
well.
on getting some non-active titles in there, so members who either don't really want to get into the fire side of things or you know, don't have the ability to. We're working on some
Non-active
Yeah,
titles.
Yeah, maybe talk a little bit about that. Like,
director-
like we want
director
if
of
somebody
tablecloth?
wants
Well,
to,
yeah, you know,
if somebody
so-
wants to get involved.
As a director of tablecloths, like
We have- right now we
non-active
have a-
titles.
Yeah, right now we do. We got a director of tablecloths.
You do.
Yeah, it's
I
one
would.
of, one of our.
I would be. I'll give you my resume. I could fill that
one of
really
the,
well.
The social members, Marie Neville, she takes care of all the decorations. If you
Wow,
go to
that
a
was
fire
like a joke,
department
but it
function,
actually turned
she
into something.
takes care
I
of it.
guess
You know, and the one
okay.
thing is we also have a ladies auxiliary that take care of that as well. So
Wow. Okay.
you're more than welcome.
For
You're
real.
welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll jump right in for sure.
But yeah,
I
so
was like a joke,
so
but okay.
no, so you know, Robbie looks over the administrative side, and with that, there's a lot of different functions. You know, there's
The point is, right, is that you could be involved without having to fight fires. There's plenty of things to do without having to,
there's
jump on the
there's,
back of
you
a
know,
truck. Do you guys have like the direct from the back
No,
truck at all?
no,
Or
we
don't have that.
Because I could.
Our firehouse
probably
isn't big
swing
enough
that.
for one of those.
I could probably I could.
I could see it. I could see it.
just be in the back like Kramer style
that's
Seinfeld.
it, Kramer.
Yeah, like Kramer style Seinfeld. You know.
But no, yeah. So there's a bunch of there's a lot of things.
Right,
You know,
so get
and-
involved.
Yeah, you know, and
Yeah.
if you got any questions, don't just stop by.
So really, it really is about even if you want to contribute to the Cornwall community, this is a great way to just contribute to the community is to get involved with the firehouse, right? Even if you don't necessarily want to get involved with firefighting, you can get involved in community by getting involved in the Cornwall fire departments, not just and make a contribution to the community in those kind of opportunities.
Everyone can contribute. I feel that everybody has something to contribute, whether or not it's driving the fire truck or running the hose or setting up the tables for the Easter breakfast. Everybody can contribute something. We accept a lot of people. As long as you're a good citizen, then come on aboard. Stop down to the firehouse on a Wednesday night. Talk to us. Talk to one of us.
By the way, has it always been there? Was it always there at where it is across the street from?
Well, it's the original firehouse. So the engine company started in 1869.
68.
1868. It started in over on Duncan Avenue. If you go like halfway up on the right,
Yeah, I've
there's
seen
I
there's
think it's 19 Duncan Avenue.
yeah.
Oh, okay. So okay.
So in 1903, we came into our current quarters at 233 Hudson Street.
Wow.
and,
Okay. So there you go.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
and ever since there's been a couple different, additions to it.
Your dad was 17 years old.
Yeah,
1990.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, he was one of the first members there. But no, but in the 1970s we went into a big remodel and renovation. You know,
And how many trucks there? Is it
right
it's
now?
three?
No, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Probably got a 10 apparatus
Oh.
fleet.
Okay.
You know,
Got it.
we're working on kind of minimizing that, down to a manageable size for our department.
Okay.
You know, as the mutual aid partners, we work more and more with the cost of fire trucks. Our members and our chiefs and our leadership, we realize that, and we realize it's a big commitment from the taxpayers to do that. We've got one that's coming in December. That is $1.3 million. We've had it on the table for 3 years. We're working on addressing some other ones, and but we realize that that's a big commitment, and we're looking with ourselves and our capabilities, and as well as the capabilities of surrounding fire departments.
Right. Yeah. Well, great. Well,
Final thoughts?
yeah.
Got anything for us? Well, first of all, we appreciate you guys coming on, number one. And number two, we do appreciate the service again.
Well, thank you for having us. And,
Yeah, we appreciate it.
and thank you for the shameless plugs that you give us.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
We appreciate it.
Our membership is gonna.
Let's hope so.
It's gonna take off
Yeah,
now.
let's hope so. Let's hope that people get involved for sure.
Sure, Tom and I are going to get roasted for this.
We're gonna probably get this.
Yeah.
But hey, listen, it's all part of the job.
That's right.
That's what we got to do.
We appreciate you guys.
Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Oh, he's coming
Oh
back.
my
He's coming back.
God.
He's coming
Wait a
back.
minute.
All right.
Thing.
Wow,
And
here
then
he is. Look, this is the guy who said he didn't want to be on camera. I mean, just to be clear. But here he is. He's back.
We should also thank the chamber because each year you guys have your car show and you donate the proceeds to the various first responder organizations. And those
Thank
proceeds,
you for that.
along with the other fundraising that we do, goes towards providing scholarships to our college, or I'm sorry, to our high school and whatnot, and some other membership needs and whatnot.
Great.
So we're very appreciative of the chamber as well.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you,
you.
Mike.
Yeah,
Appreciate
we
that.
appreciate that. Appreciate you guys.
We'll
Thanks.
get you a smash burger for that.
Yeah.
There you go.
We brought him with smash burgers.
Thank you.
And with that, thank you guys again,
thank you.
and really appreciate it. And till next time, Cornwall Conversations.